Excellent. Well, welcome everyone. My name is Buffy Donahue. I'm a naturopathic doctor and I'm board certified in complementary and alternative health. And I'm joined here by my good friend and colleague, Dr. Ed De Los Reyes. And Dr. Ed, you can say hello if you'd like.
Hello. Yes, good evening. It's Wednesday again, and I'm really glad that Buffy is back, and we complement each other with this type of technology that we have, and I'm pretty excited about this merger that we're doing. And then let me just greet my folks in the Philippines. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat na taga Maynila at saka po at para sa mga kaibigan ko or mga kauban ako sa Cebu ug Mindanao, maayong buntag sa inyong tanan. Thank you all.
Wow, that was fantastic. Very good. And Dr. Ed, you are an anesthesiologist and you are also trained as a pediatrician. Am I
Yes,
correct on those?
you are correct.
Fantastic. And you are still practicing, are you not, in some of that?
I retired in 2017. When we say retired, we don't care about certifications anymore. They just call us, and if they needed some help, then we come and go. I help out my colleagues in my old practice as an anesthesiologist. So I was an interventional pain management specialist, and then I dropped that one, and now I'm just doing some anesthesia work. But officially retired in 2017.
Oh, fantastic. I love to hear that. Um, all right, everyone. So, we are going to be introducing you to something tonight called redox signaling molecules. And usually, when we're doing this in person, we say by a show of hands, how many of you have heard of redox molecules? And most people go, no. Well, I can tell you that as of 2018, nor had I. It hadn't crossed my path. I didn't learn about it. And so, when it did cross my path, I had the most phenomenal health benefit with it. And so then I started sharing it with everybody, basically everybody that came in my path, my family, my friends, my loved ones. It is so foundational to health. And I truly believe that it is the missing link to health and vitality. And really, your body is designed to heal. And it is beautifully designed. And when we give it the right things, it can do that. But it has to have the right things in the right order, if you will. And we need to wake up the body and wake up the immune system to actually be able to heal and self repair. And so that's what we are going to be teaching you about. And Dr. Ed, did you want to share anything about that before I get started with the presentation?
No, go ahead with the presentation. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. All right, so I'm going to remove that spotlight from you and we will pop you back on toward the end. Thanks so much. All right, everyone, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you and we will get rolling. Okay, so normally Debbie Wetzler is on with us tonight and we rotate around and she's got the night off. So she will be back more than likely next week with us. But you can come back, bring friends, bring loved ones. We do always do Q&A at the end. And so if you are here tonight for the first time, we're so glad that you're here. And if you have come back and you have brought somebody with you, we're so glad that you're back, and we know that you're going to learn something new as well when we get to the Q&A. So this is the world's first and only cell signaling supplement. It is backed by 7 patents and over 8,000 trade secrets. So it is definitely not a new kid on the block. It has been out there for a while. Just most people just haven't heard about it because this is marketed through word of mouth marketing, direct marketing, and so that's why you're learning about this. And so we like to start with what ASEA is not, what redox is not. It's not a vitamin or mineral supplement. It's not an antioxidant formula. It's not an exotic juice or essential oil or a CBD oil. And it truly does go beyond nutrition. This is not about the ingredients. This is about it being a biotech and the fact that we used to produce redox molecules in abundance, but then as we age and as we're exposed to stresses and toxins, we produce less and less. And what I can tell you is a lot of us are taking a lot of nutrients in, whether that's in the foods that we're eating or the vitamins and the mineral supplementation, but If our body isn't ready to digest, break down, assimilate, and utilize those things, then we're just having expensive toilet flushes. So we're going to teach you about this and let you know how this can work to your advantage as well. So you can see here at the top right, that is a college textbook. They are teaching about redox in universities, and medical students are learning about it now. And it does take that long to learn about it. So we've got you here tonight for roughly maybe 30 minutes. We obviously can't teach all of that, but I want to let you know, if you look at the image on the left here, that is an image of one of our cells. So we are made up of trillions of cells. And it's foundational. And so when we have healthy tissues, healthy organs, healthy systems, then we have a healthy being, right? So very quickly, just scan that picture on the left, and you can see that that's a little powerhouse in there, the mitochondria. And when the body is breaking down and utilizing and converting the foods that we eat into energy and into usable the ability, it has redox molecules inside the cell as well. So that's as far as I am actually going to go into the science, because I'm going to show you a 6-minute video that will explain it in good detail. It's going to show you how it's kind of like having batteries in the body that are going to power us, give us energy, but also things that we need to have balance in our life so that the body can balance. So here we go with this video, and I'll see you back in about 6 minutes. And the audio is not there. Hang on. I don't know why that audio is not there. Just a moment. All right, technical difficulty here. Just a minute, please. Okay, try this again. Well, best made plans. This did work when I tested it just a few minutes ago. All right, I'm sorry, one more thing. Okay, well, so I'm going to actually walk you through it now. So basically let me back up here and let me do this. This is not going to be my forte. Ed, I want you to actually help me out with this. Let me stick you back in here. So when the food is being converted by the body in the mitochondria, that produces ATP. The body, it throws off reductants and oxidants, and combined that makes the term redox molecules, which then helps the body to protect, detect, and repair itself. And so we produce the most when we're children and in puberty. That's why children run around, they have all the energy, they tend to heal faster. And as we get older and we are exposed to stresses and toxins, we do that less efficiently. So essentially, we are replenishing that with our redox signaling molecules. Dr. Ed, do you want to share anything else on that before we move on? You've probably got much more you can say.
No, you got it right on point. Let's go ahead, move.
Okay, all right, awesome. Then we'll move forward. Okay, so what I did say here was that the redox molecules, they help every major system in the body to be regulated. So everything that we have, if it is overactive or underactive, the body needs to have homeostasis, which means balance. Look at that scale in the middle. And redox molecules goes out and seeks what it can do to help it. And so think about it, and it's the messenger in the body. So think about it like if I'm trying to have a cell phone conversation with you, and I have 1 bar of service, and you have 5. you're not going to be able to hear very much of my communication that's happening because I've got such little service. And so our communication is faulty. And that's what happens in the body when there's that cell to cell breakdown. Think of it like an internal internet in the body, and then your apps don't seem to work if we're talking about it like that. That's a very simplistic way. And so when we reintroduce and replenish our body, suddenly everything is firing on all cylinders, and it's kind of like our immune system used to be on vacation and now it goes, oh my gosh, how did I miss all that? Let me go back to work and let me get busy on that. So, for those of you who like to study and you like to do research, which really seems to be a lot of people out there, and a lot of people go to Google. Well, please don't go to Google. Go to scholar.google. You can search for redox signaling molecules. You can also go to the NIH website at PubMed. You can see that at the top left. Please take a screenshot. I did update this before I made this slide, and on the left-hand side, you can see the massive, massive interest in research from the medical and scientific community at this government website up and just currently in 2026 you can see just the huge spikes that's there. So you go there, you search redox signaling, and then you can add in so redox signaling and hypertension, redox signaling, and insert your disease name that you might be interested in looking at. All right, so what they did was after they stabilized and made this beverage, the redox signaling molecule beverage, what they found out was that people were starting to put it in spray bottles and spray it on the skin. And so they were spraying it all over the body in every nook and cranny and orifice, including those down under regions. Anywhere that there's a cell, the cells can be improved. And so what they were finding was people were getting reduction in their discomfort. And so they asked the company, can you make this into a thicker product so we can rub it on? So then they came out with a stabilized gel, Renew 28, which is twice as concentrated redox molecules. And what they're marketing this as for wrinkles and anti-aging, which I'll get to that in a moment, but it increases skin cell turnover by 16%, a 20% improvement in skin elasticity and smoothness, a 16% reduction in cellulite. Hello, ladies. I don't know how many of you don't have a problem with that, but it really helped me there. But I want more. And an increase in blood flow to the area by 49%. So Renew 28 is a remarkable, remarkable product. And you're going to see here, when you apply it to your skin, dramatic things happen. You can see the fast improvement to the heel crack in the middle. That's 1 week from beginning to end, and then it's 48 hours after. Now that's some really fast improvement. And what I can tell you is the reason they're calling this Renew 28 is because it increases your skin cell turnover to 28 days as opposed to maybe up to 100. So it's rapid improvement where we put it on. And this is broad spectrum. So you can see the gentleman on the left. A lot of us experienced that ourselves in youth. And then the lady on the top in the middle. You know, anywhere we have wrinkles on the body, we also have wrinkles inside the body. And I'll get to that with the beverage in just a moment. But you can also see our good friend, Dr. Morin, on the bottom right, where he's a researcher. And so he decided that he wanted to research on himself. Well, the skin is the same age on all of his face, so he decided to put this Renew 28 just on half of his face to see what it would do. And it's remarkable. I mean, look at that. How many people do you know that are paying lots and lots of money for injections that are harmful to the body, by the way? But look at how smooth it got, how plump and how nice and tight it got. So that's just a really great illustration of the benefits that we can get. Now here's some more. We have illustrations here of all different ages, different skin tones, And you can see the lady at the top right, she had an itchy, scaly rash that was happening. And, definitely it's really hard to wear makeup and cover those things up. But very, very rapidly, she had an incredible improvement. The gentleman in the bottom right, he had some abnormal skin cell growth on his eyelid that happens to people when they get older. And generally, you're not seeing that on children because their body is is working harder to keep them healthier. Well, he started drinking redox molecules in ASEA, and those skin cells heard the message that they didn't belong, they were not being helpful, and then they just ejected themselves from the body, basically. The lady on the bottom left, you can see that we are on the red carpet all over the world, and this is keeping women and men of all ages more youthful and reverse aging. And the lady at the top left, she has what a lot of us have, just some dark aging spots, and those just beautifully went away as well. Now, this is my favorite lady in ASEA. This is about Rosie. And on the left, Rosie was 84. And you can see Rosie reverse aged. It looks like she found that mythical fountain of youth. But I want to tell you from my standpoint, from my perspective as a naturopathic doctor, I am looking at the fact that this is an outward representation of the internal state and health of her body. Imagine if you were looking at her heart cells that had just improved, or liver, or kidneys, or vessels. This is incredible. And just look at the vibrance and the youthfulness and the joy that is just exuding from her eyes there. So you can definitely see that is reverse aging at its finest. And she was drinking the beverage and then using Renew 28 topically. And then next you're going to see the next product that they came out with. This is our targeted relief. And I want you to think of the previous products as working in the body just the same as if you had a piano and you were playing a song and it covered every single key on your piano. And those are the things that the previous products worked on. Well, with Redox Gold, I want you to think of just if a person was hitting one key on the piano, and that was inflammation and discomfort. So this contains 24 karat elemental gold, and you can see where the participants that tried this, 100% of the participants had a reduction in their inflammation, and it was validated by thermography. That's like heat-seeking goggles, if you're thinking about it like that. If you're not familiar with thermography, it shows heat, so you can see the reds, the pinks, the gold, the purples. That's more heat in the body. And then 15 minutes after, you can see the cooling blues, the cooling green tones come in. It's just remarkable. Now, I can tell you that most people will have a benefit within 15 minutes, but some it can be almost instantaneous. But really the application, the continuation over time is going to continue to address and affect that inflammatory issue. And then as the body is then healing, throughout it, we may need to apply it less and less and less. And this is completely non-toxic, and it can't be harmful. And this does contain 24 karat elemental gold, like I said, and rheumatologists have been using this for a very, very long time, and they will actually inject gold into joints to work in the same way. And how do we use this? Well, we rate the discomfort on a scale of 1 to 10. Where does it hurt? Well, we take about a marble-sized blob, we rub it in until it's dry, because we want to drive it down into the tissues, and then reassess and then do it again if we need to. It's really, really remarkable. Now, athletes were coming to ASEA and saying, why is it that I'm running longer, faster, seeming to break my own records? And so the University of North Carolina did a metabolomics test with their elite athletes, and they were astonished with what they found. And it's really, truly remarkable. And it does show that all of the benefits. And so we do have Olympic sponsored athletes. We have elite athletes using this. It is WADA certified, which means World Anti-Doping Agency. That means it's cleared and it is completely clear to use and allowable even in the Olympics. And I can tell you, if Olympic physicians are allowing their athletes to use it and encouraging them to do it, then us average our average run-of-the-mill athlete is going to want to do it as well, and everybody in between, because it's just so remarkable for energy and endurance, and improving fatty acid metabolism. I mean, you can see here some of the validation by third-party independent science, where we are just continuing to get more and more coverage and exposure, and these are very, very important to have. This is this is also available on the website to look at. And you can see that ASEA regulates healthy gene expression. So you won't find a health challenge that doesn't fall into one of these parameters: hormones, immune, inflammation, cardiovascular health, or healthy digestion. And so all of us have loved ones and friends and family members that we know and love that has something that's going on. And so that's why most of us are here, or those of us have invited people, because we do care to share this information so that others can have that information. And so this was done in an 8-week study. It was Tare Labs, and it's found to activate the gene signaling pathways in these 5 areas of health. And just one of those pathways is the EGR1. And you can see here that's serotonin or brain, infertility, spinal cord injury, NRF2 pathway, and insulin signaling. So this is just one that is highlighted, and that's why there was that. Remember that college textbook that was this thick that's teaching about why this is so important and vital. And then remember, we are the only company on the planet that has stabilized redox molecules. So these are just some of the universities and research centers around the world that are now studying redox molecules. And they have either gotten grants or they're doing it on their own. And more are coming and saying, hey, can we study this? This is just remarkable. So James Watson of Watson and Crick, who discovered the double helix, James Watson said that many major diseases are caused by a lack of redox signaling molecules. And basically what he was saying was that he didn't think that we would have disease if we had enough redox molecules. So let that settle in for just a little bit, because that's really, really profound. So we are right at the end of our quick introduction to the world of ASEA, and I want to let you know again why we're here, because we do care enough about this to share it with other people, and also to let you know that when we do that, ASEA thanks us very well for doing that, because they don't pay any money for marketing or advertising. What they do is they have us help them with that, because people that care will share this information and bring it to others. And it's much like, if you find something that you really love, you're going to call your friends that matter, that need to hear the information as well. And so we're going to go to Q&A in just a moment, but if you have found this, or maybe in the recording, please get back to the person who has invited you here, because they can tell you how you can get this, how you can get a 30-day money-back guarantee, how you can get it through them as an authorized representative, and they will help you. They will teach you how to use it to the best of your health benefit. They will invite you back to more workshops like this. We have them we do have them every day of the week, probably almost every hour on the hour, because we're in 38 countries now. We do translations, and we just have to get this word out so that we can bless more people. So we're going to switch over to Q&A, and I want to let you know, thank you so much for coming. And we do want to have you come back next week so you can bring friends. So please take a screenshot of this. The person who invited you here is happy to give you that password, and you can then invite somebody else to come back with you. And so I am going to add Dr. Ed for the spotlight again. I'm going to stop share, and we are going to go back in, or we're now going to get into Q&A. And you are welcome to put your questions in the chat. First and foremost, we'd like that. But actually, before we get started, I want to just cover a little bit of ground for you to let you know that ASEA doesn't diagnose, treat, cure, prevent anything. This wakes up your body to heal itself and to see things that it hasn't been seeing before. So we have a lot of testimonials out there on people that have had phenomenal benefits with this. And so they're sharing these wonderful benefits, but we don't put an expectation on it, what it's going to do to your body, because everybody is a unique individual and you have unique challenges in your past and maybe in your current living environment as well that may be continuing to assault your body, if you will. But no one can be allergic to ASEA. No, there's people might say, well, there's some sodium in it. I'm on a sodium restricted diet. Well, there's no more sodium in a serving size of ASEA than there is in a couple of large carrots or a glass of milk. So I don't know anybody who's on a low carrot diet. So if your doctor says, oh, that has too much sodium, ask them, am I supposed to stay off carrots too? Because it's got that, that's as little as it goes. So really, that's the bottom line for that. You can't have an interaction with your medication because we are already producing redox molecules within our body even before we're born. So we're already producing it. We're just at a deficit. So we're just ramping it back up, and your body knows exactly what to do with it. No different than if you were needing supplemental oxygen. It's going to give you exactly what you need. So with that, now go ahead and type your questions into chat, and welcome back, Dr. Ed.
Yes, thank you, Buffy. That was a great presentation. The
Thank you.
adaptability in that one was fantastic. I love it.
Thank
And
you.
yes, I am Dr. Ed Delos Reyes, and I have been always been tagged as non-compliant, but let me clear that. I always speak on my background as a physician. So if I speak medical terminologies and everything, that's me, and it's a personal way of expressing the effects of this. And then when I express and then when I explain things on how redox would work, I always would go into my profession on how the way it's going to work. Okay, I am not representing ASEA for this one. I am an independent brand partner, and then who happens to be a physician whose life was changed because of the product. So with that in your mind, again, let me just repeat it that we are not a form of a treatment, nor are we a form of a diagnosis for any medical condition. We are a supplement that would enhance and that would make and optimize the functionality of cells to heal by itself. Good.
That's fantastic. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show out some of the first questions here. Here's one. I drank the liquid last year for a few months. I didn't notice any changes. I decided to try it again because I may have thyroid issues. I'm going to leave that extra word out, and possibly a big challenge in my kidneys. So the official diagnoses are pending, and the friend named Rose helped to get signed up again. John, we are really glad that you are back with ASEA because your body needs to be able to see that that's going on, because it hasn't been paying attention before, because if it was, we wouldn't have these issues. Okay, my brand partner has attempted the redox signaling molecules 2 to 3 times over the last 4 months. Her ankle swells and she gains 5 pounds each time. What can I tell her?
What was that again? Oh, I was distracted. I'm sorry.
That's okay. My brand partner has attempted the redox signaling molecules 2 to 3 times over the last 4 months. Her ankle swells and she gains 5 pounds each time. What can I tell her?
Every time she takes and she gains 5 pounds, and she has accumulation of fluid. I definitely it's not from the redox signaling molecules that you're taking. Again, the cause of fluid retention is sodium, and then but okay, let me clarify that. Yes, sodium would cause that's the common notion of people, because in the fact is that sodium can retain fluid, and then and because sodium will retain um, fluid with it. Okay, and so to decrease the retention of fluid, you decrease salt intake. Now, but the sodium content of redox signaling molecules is not enough to do that. It is way below the normal amounts of what is required of us to have. So we're required about three grams of salt in our body, in our system, as a daily substance. And then, but this one is only about for a serving of 2 cups is about only 120 milligrams, which is really very, very low than what is even required of us. So it's not from that. I would suggest to take and continue, and that way this could just be retention secondary to a presence of toxin that would cause retention of fluid into the system. This could be from a toxin causing capillary sippage or leakage of fluid into the interstitial tissues. But continue to drink it, drink a lot of water, and that way it can flush out also all this kind of impurities that the body is getting rid of, or that the redox molecules is getting rid of.
I love that. Thank you. My cousin recently fell on the ice and broke her elbow in 2 places. Redox Gold is most likely going to help her. Is that a question? Redox Gold is most likely going to help her get through the excruciating phase, right? She is balking at the price, so I need a good elevator pitch to help her get over that.
Well, I think a good elevator pitch would be just apply it right away into that, and immediately she will feel it. Yeah, the cost is really up to them, and it's what's the benefits about it. It takes away the discomfort, it takes away the inflammation, but it's not about the symptomatic treatment only. It has a recovery in attacking the inflammatory process because of the trauma. Of course, if there's mechanical dislocations, if there's mechanical misplacement of this as a result of the trauma, then that needed to be fixed. But the inflammation itself and the healing of the bone and the muscles can be taken care of by the Redox Gold. So you apply that, and as you could see when you are as you could observe when you apply Redox Gold, the very first time that you do it every 2 hours or every hour even. And then, but the good thing about it, as you prolong it, like the next day, it's not going to be every hour anymore. It's going to be every 4 hours because there is improvement, there is decrease of the inflammatory process, and that's what all these things is happening. So there is recovery when you apply redox signaling, when you apply redox gold.
Absolutely. And our goal is, as he was saying, we want to be applying it more often in the beginning as well. And then your body is not going to have the responses as fast each time. So each time you are going to be applying it, hopefully less frequently and needing less each time. That's what we experience as well when we're using these products consistently and properly. Okay, and let's see. Oops, I hit enter too soon. Rose and Bob helped me to get signed up again. Which product would you recommend for possible abnormal cells of the thyroid and kidney? Renew 28, gold, or the liquid?
I would initially make sure that you have the water, and then also Renew 28 for now. I would apply that to Renew 28 to the areas where